Scorpio, welcome to your weekly reading for September the 12th to the 18th. Let's get started and see what messages we have for Scorpio, Sun, Moon, and Rising for the week ahead. Now keep in mind, Scorpio, these are general readings, and so you may want to check out your other placements. This reading may not resonate for everyone, so check out your other placements and see what messages are waiting for you there. All right, my friends, let's get started. What is the energy around the week ahead here for Scorpio? We see chaos and conflict coming out. Card 33. Ooh, and a couple of other cards just fell out. There. And never-ending story. Interesting. Okay, so we see the fates on the bottom of the deck as well. Never-ending story. The here and now, and fork in the road. Another fork in the road. Look at this. We got card 32 and 33. So you're definitely moving towards something this week. It looks like you're moving towards sort of this choice point that you're going to need to be a part of. There's a fork in the road here. So it's almost like you're planting the seeds today for something that's going to be coming up in the future. And I say that because of this fates card. So there is sort of this divine timing surrounding you right now, Scorpio, and it's bringing in some chaos, and it might be bringing in some conflict, but you're really being guided to stay in the present moment, to not, don't wander too far ahead or behind. Try and stay where you are, because it's almost like there is something that has been ever present in your life, this never-ending story that may have the opportunity to be cleared this week. So let's have a look at the tarot cards and see what messages will be revealed for you. But it feels like you're really being guided to stay in the present moment, which makes me think that this never-ending story has sort of initiated in the past, and it's still having an effect on you today. And it's almost like a divine timing thing for it to be coming up now, because I think you have a chance to clear this. You might have a chance to put this never-ending story to rest, Scorpio. Very interesting. All right, let's see. And it's going to be up to you, because you've got this fork in the road. Like, which way are you going to go? There's the King of Wands. So Scorpio, that is your Leo energy. Very confident, very charismatic, very certain and sure, very full of like this idea of a strong personal power center, very confident, a lot of willpower here. So using your will to sort of be present in a situation. Isn't that interesting? This Strength card also coming out, the Four of Pentacles. Bottom of the deck is the Ten of Cups in reverse. So there seems to be something that's out of balance here. This never-ending story of something being out of balance, misaligned, miscommunications, misunderstandings. It feels like this all has a chance to get cleared up this week, but it's interesting. And there's the Queen of Wands right beneath that. So for some of you, this could involve a relationship that has sort of gone from being really fulfilling to full of misunderstandings and miscommunications. I'm almost sort of picking up on this idea that there's something triggering you in this relationship to go back to a belief that you used to hold about yourself or others. So it's interesting. It's like you've journeyed so far, and now this has come back up, and it's creating a lot of conflict and chaos in your life. It could be creating a separation that you have sort of almost tagged with something that you've experienced in the past, and now it's back again. And so it's almost like you're like, why does this always keep happening? Well, it keeps happening because there's something here that, is trying to teach you something about yourself or about how you show up when certain things happen. This almost makes me feel like this is a reading about someone in in a relationship, romantic or friendship or a partnership. It could even be a business relationship, but something has triggered you into the past, and you're really being guided to stay in the now. So to sort of remind yourself that whatever happened in the past happened in the past, and that it doesn't necessarily have to have an impact on you today if you don't let it. But it does feel like it's creating an obstacle that you feel like you can't overcome. I'm wondering if this obstacle has something to do with finances, or if it just has to do with this overall lack mentality where you feel like something's not enough. It's trickling into your inner self. So you might be thinking to yourself, I'm not enough. This situation's not enough. I don't have enough. You know, like you're focused on what's missing instead of what's present. And you're really being guided to stay focused on the present. Not just the present moment, but also what is present, as opposed to what's missing. You know, sometimes it can just be a perspective shift that we've got ourselves trained sometimes to look at, well, what am I missing in order to feel whole and complete? Well, you're already whole and complete. And so when you throw that in the mix, then all of a sudden you start operating from a place of what's missing in my life instead of what's present in my life. And that can send us down a road of lack mentality. And it's interesting because we do have the fork in the road here. So it's sort of like you've got to decide, what are you going to do in this situation? Are you going to let the chaos and conflict sort of send you back to a place where you've decided that there isn't enough and that you don't have enough and that you can't possibly deal with this? Or are you going to sort of feel empowered with this sort of energy of the King of Wands who came out first to sort of be like, no, I got this. I'll know what to do, and I've got to stay grounded in the now, you know? Let's see. Let's clarify here. Why is the King of Rods here? The Tower. Yeah, this is the conflict and chaos. This is bringing out your capabilities, not the other way around. It's almost like you're going to see how strong you are. You're all of this stuff that you've been carrying has got to go. I can't help but feel like you've been carrying a lot of storylines in your mind, different narratives where you come out sort of not being enough. And Scorpio, I think that is coming to a head for you this week. Yeah, your High Priestess is here in reverse. You got to listen to that inner voice, you know, and see, what is this experience trying to teach you? I know that you're surrounded by what you perceive to be sort of competition. And so you've got your guard up big time. You've got your guard up and you're almost defensive. You're almost at the place where you would say you're defensive. And when we get defensive, again, we're not present. We're operating under sort of this idea that we're being threatened by something, but it's almost like that threat is from the past. You know, it's almost like you're fighting a battle that happened in the past, but it keeps coming back. It keeps coming back up. And it's the only reason it keeps coming back up feels like it's because it's alive and well in your mind. Like it really still has an effect on you. And I think it keeps coming up for you to resolve it, which is why we're seeing that never-ending story. Why is the 4 here? Yeah, the 4 of Pentacles is being clarified by the Queen of Pentacles. So that makes me feel like, again, you need to be grounded and stay in the moment and focus on what you do have. Try to switch that idea from focusing on what's missing to focusing on what's present. You know, I think that's going to be the name of this reading. The bottom of the deck is the Death card. So you are going through a big transformation. Shifting that mindset could be very transformative, Scorpio. And this is your card. This is you in the tarot. So it's almost like you're experiencing a transformation of the self by recognizing that you must change your perception in order to change how you see things. It sounds obvious, but it's not. A lot of the time we think we see the world neutral, and then we sort of have a reaction to it. But actually, we're never looking at the world neutral. We're always looking at the world through the perspective that we're holding, right? So if we are holding a perspective that I don't have enough, I'm not enough, there isn't enough, and I'll never have enough, then you're always going to see evidence of that, right? But if you're holding the perspective that it's an infinitely abundant universe and that you will receive whatever it is that you feel you're worthy of, that changes things immediately, in the sense that, like, sometimes when we are sort of focused on lack, we forget that we live in this energetic universe, right? And we start to take everything as being material only. And if you focus on the lack, then of course you're going to feel like you're constantly trying to survive. But it's almost like that is the thing that's being challenged this week for you. You might be running into obstacle after obstacle after obstacle just so that you will approach the situation differently. Scorpio, it's very interesting. And it sort of feels like all of this is happening to get you to see something. Like this Fated card, that makes me feel like this is all divinely timed. That you're sort of going through this Tower moment to see just how much you do have, and to see how capable you actually are, and how resourceful you are, and how abundant you are. It's just almost like you have to shift the mindset first. What a very interesting reading for you this week, Scorpio. I'm going to leave it at that. I hope this reading has been helpful, and I'm looking forward to reading for you again very soon. You guys take care, and I'm sending you so much love and light. Have a great week.